Hey guys, friendly reminder that on the Moliminous Theater channel, we have been streaming a ton. We stream every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and all other days really at 8 p.m. EST. So if you like our content, go see us over there, but we're putting out more.
Fry brains!
Huh? Wait, what?
Yeah, I'm a unicorn and we're evil!
Yeah, I mean, it's not wrong. Nearly every single villain in the original G4 show was a unicorn. I'm not really justifying this racism, but it does make it a little bit more understanding that everyone doesn't exactly trust the unicorns.
I'm gonna zap every pony with my horn lasers!
Rarity misses point-blank shots. Now, I'm not saying it's not scary to have brain-melting horn lasers come at you, but when they have the aim of a stormtrooper, is it even really a big deal at that point?
When all three pony kinds were friends.
Here we go again.
And they never used their magic against each other.
You're wrong.
This is as fallacious as saying Batman doesn't kill. Almost every episode had them using magic against unwilling subjects, and only some of them were evil. So they have show-accurate models of the main six, probably meaning this isn't too far removed from the events of G4. But at the same time, they completely lost the plot of the world, despite the main six writing it down in multiple different books that were bestsellers.
Ooh, let's play Pegasus Barbecue instead.
Sprout, stop it!
Pony.
And cue the vor fetishes. Unless the events of G4 are some sort of show or myth, which doesn't seem to be the case, exactly where are the princesses? We can see some old town maps with the castles, and as far as we know, the princesses are next to immortal. So did they just let the world fall into chaos, or are they hiding out somewhere?
Dad, tell them that's not what they do!
So the dad is the one making the special lamp, which will be important later because it has one of the three magic MacGuffins that solves the story. The problem is, the dad, despite having knowledge on exceptionally niche subjects such as the box that birthed the castle, doesn't tell Sunny about the multiple gems that apparently give the world its magic, despite having one in his possession. It would be such incredible luck that the person who's studying all of the ancient equestrian knowledge and is the one that's most open to all the races being back together is the one that also just happens to find himself in possession of one of the key gems, despite not knowing what it is. Also, not only does this pony who's covered in fur somehow have facial hair, he also has gravity-defying glasses that just sit on his face and is able to make precise brush strokes with his hoofs. Now, before we could say magic did all of this, but this world has none, so I'm calling bullshit. Apparently now ponies only have cutie marks on one side of their butts because I guess after a couple hundred years of evolution, it was decided that, you know what? We really don't need two images. We only need one.
Well, maybe today is that day. Look, a unicorn.
Where? Where?
Over here.
Isn't this like blackface? Dressing up as all different races? I get that maybe their society was advanced enough before that this wouldn't matter. Except, in this movie, they're also racist. I'm expecting this to turn into page 174 of To Kill a Mockingbird at any point.
Dear unicorns and pegasi, you have friends in Maritime Bay. Come visit us.
Can we send it?
I think it's our duty.
This flimsily attached picture makes it thousands of miles to the land of the unicorns through dense forests into the hoofs of Izzy, the unicorn that we'll meet later on. I understand, it's a kid's show, and they need a reason to make her want to come visit the Earth Pony lands. But you're telling me you couldn't have given her any other reason to come, or at least make the letter not be attached by this world's equivalent of a paperclip.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, my little pony.
And roll credits. She had a sea of purple hair scrunchies and only one blue one, but somehow has two on. Also, look, I get it. I have long hair, not as long as her, but is it just impossible to reuse scrunchies? Do you need a literal drawer filled of them? Also, who's making all this merch? I get the figures are probably custom made, but unless Sunny's making these posters, the pins, and all this other assorted memorabilia, someone in town that hates these other races sure are making a lot of things to glorify them. And hey, look, apparently they have knowledge of even EQG, since there's the egg thing that Wallflower used to erase memories, which maybe you could say is the reason they all forgot about how they used to be friends is because they had their memories removed. But if that happened on such a large scale, that sounds like an even more interesting story than anything that we're about to see in this movie. sticky note to remind her that magic is real. But isn't the whole issue that magic is real and that the other groups all have significant advantages over Earth ponies like shooting lasers, etc.? I don't think you need to convince anyone that it's real. I'm pretty sure they're all believers and they're all terrified. And Applejack apparently sells oranges now. Not only was the mother dead, but now the father is, because you can't have a motivated protagonist without mysteriously dead parents from nondescript causes. It is never established that she works here, that this is her job, or anything of the sort. For all we knew, we just watched this pony straight up steal someone's cart for her own plans. And hey, let's say she does work here. Why would the boss send her on a delivery to a place she apparently tries to sabotage every year, knowing she's banned? Why does this place even order cupcakes from this person, knowing they'll send her, Harry Trotter? Because nothing would sell better than a movie about magic schools in a town that is terrified of magic.
Instead of staying stuck inside, instead of building your wall.
They haven't met either of these races in so long that they don't know that they don't have magic, but have seemingly built an entire society and economy around hating them.
Come on and party.
Wait, did we just make a full circle, or does this small town have 2 movie theaters where they're showing apparently the exact same movie?
We'll all be singing the song. I've heard it enough.
She apparently made a balloon animal out of a long balloon. Only problem is there was only 2 of them, and we still see 2 left after she does this. She also does this with her hoofs, not even countering the fact that she unfastened her skates with 1 hoof and did it back in a matter of seconds.
Gonna be my day.
So she is making loops around town. Why? Apparently she needed to be punctual enough to need an alarm clock to wake her. But clearly she's not in a hurry since this is her 3rd lap she's done around the town.
Sonny, we both know how this goes. Every year you try to sneak in, and every year I stop you.
And yet every year you keep ordering from the same business that sends her.
We here at Cantor Logic are so thrilled to create perfect products that protect ponies like you.
Perfect products for attacks that have never happened since the company started.
So let's start the show!
This pony is easily the best in the show. That normally wouldn't be something I count as a sin, even though I play pretty fast and loose with the word, and it's completely arbitrary. But I'm upset at the pure lack of fan art regarding her. So this is a sin for the fandom.
Skate pack.
Yikes, that's gonna be a lot of paperwork.
In any world, in any society, their stocks would immediately tank here, and they're hit with multiple reckless endangerment lawsuits going bankrupt after this show. Also, isn't an Earth pony floating aimlessly in the sky real easy picking for the Pegasi?
This product testing demonstration is fully automated.
Clearly, this show was half-baked and not really planned out at all, but the fact that this fully automatic, dangerous test scene didn't have even 1 guard nearby is proof that lawsuits just don't exist in this world. This is the moment the mother decides to cover her child's eyes, but not the time you watch a pony float out the window to their probable death.
Fear is not your friend, but the unicorns and Pegasi can be.
Her big plan, that was multiple years in the making, was to get on stage and to tell them, hey, you know that deep-seated racism we all have that's been passed down from generation to generation? What if we didn't?
Shut her down! Sheriff's orders!
We're trying! Fully automated means it has to go through the whole cycle!
That is not what fully automated means. This highlights the problem with horses having hooves. Their keyboards have exactly 3 buttons max on them. Now look, I'm not the type of person to point out every single dupe in the crowd. I'll leave that to other more boring people who don't make a ton of spelling mistakes when they don't pay someone else to do the work for them. But I will say, for the supposed suspenseful scene, there are multiple dupes front and center, and it's not like they couldn't just right-click, change color, texture, and remove a pair of glasses here or there. This is just pure laziness.
Let's hear it, every pony!
Yes, you can buy this perfectly reasonable home defense weapon that misses 95% of the time. Which actually, that joke brings up a good point. Who exactly is all of this for? Because we see later, the boxes are apparently already installed in the city streets at random points, and the catapults are used later on as well. But are average citizens supposed to buy this? Where would they put it? Is the city supposed to buy it? Who pays for it? As far as we see, there's like no mayor or governing body. Do they pay taxes? Apparently they have mortgages. There are so many questions that I'm overthinking about this little children's show, but they bring up these concepts themselves. This thing has no cord. How does pulling 1 cord stop this apparent automatic firing thing from shooting? Flavor's ideas that taste like different species and races is either extremely sexual or just plain cannibalistic, and I'll let you choose which one it is.
Do you have any idea how many bylaws you broke in there?
Maybe trespassing at most, but what about all the reckless endangerment that went on during the event? Whatever is the pony equivalent of OSHA was completely desecrated as well. You're telling me Sunny is the biggest problem?
The law is the law, Sonny, and I'm here to uphold it and keep every pony safe.
Aha! You just said every pony. That includes Pegasi and unicorns.
But not every other race, which was a huge point of the last few seasons, that there are entire countries and other races and creatures. How bad did Twilight f up that we've regressed this far that we can't even accept other ponies?
Unicorns!
This town, whose major point of the economy is apparently protecting them from other races, allows one to just walk right into the city without a single guard accosting them or a single siren going off.
Unicorn attack! This is not...
He completely shatters the glass, but on the next frame, it just has a small hole in the center from the giant hoof.
Man the splatter post! Activate the unicorn trap! Pick up that litter!
They already had these installed, so again, what were the demonstrations for? I would say these traps with giant red X's is so ridiculous to assume that someone will fall for it, but Izzy, despite being adorable, proves that yes, ponies are dumb, and this actually works. What happened to them needing to be plugged in? Now they can fire freely as long as a plug in a far-off room doesn't get unplugged?
Ooh, I haven't seen this one yet.
You know, looking at this trap, it leaves the horn outside of the box. So unless they're planning to do something really gruesome like cutting off the horn, isn't that like leaving a loaded gun outside, primed and ready to fire? Who knows what kind of spell they could cast? Anyone gonna tell them that the Terminator actually turns out to be the good guy later on, making the unicorn actually good? So I'm not sure exactly what this society is trying to tell me with its film industry. Also, how bad is your movie that on the poster you put a 3-star review that just says very good?
No, don't you dare. No, Sonny!
Super Security Box has a button that anyone can press that instantly releases the unicorn. And cue the completely justified lesbian shipping in this case.
Sonny Star Scout, I know you're in there with that unicorn. Come out with your hooves up and surrender.
How exactly do you want her to come out with her hooves up? We walk on all 4. Seems more likely she'll take a few steps and just faceplant.
What are you doing? You don't smell. Thanks.
If I have to explain why this scene is bad, I envy your innocence.
I'm looking up.
This guy is still floating. I mean, their other products might not work, but hey, if you wanted to float aimlessly, this one works.
What does he have anyway? Sure, he's got perfect mane, shredded abs, paid off mortgage. So what? I've got stuff. I can do, things.
The homoerotic tension could be cut with a unicorn horn, and I'm still not opposed to the idea that it's the main driving force for this entire movie. There's no way that's not exceptionally painful. Even if it's not because you're grabbing onto the horn, you're still pulling a full-grown pony's weight solely on your neck. Pegasi can't fly, and honestly, they did a good job showing her leaping and gliding while chasing them. But unless she's somehow gliding upwards 12 feet, or has some of the most incredible jumping skills I've ever seen, I'm calling bullshit she pulled this part off. Advanced Pegasi City, arguably more advanced than the Earth ponies, have special defenses of a tennis ball for unicorns, which later we see that their horns can literally saw through solid trees.
But not as much as you guys.
We love you so much, man!
Okay, guys, I love you lots. Gotta go. Pip, pip, hooray.
Now, our world had a reality TV star in control of the largest number of nukes in the world, but even we didn't have Instagram thoughts giving national addresses. Both are embarrassments, but one's clearly worse. I mean, there's honestly just a whole host of dupes here. Again, this is a billion-dollar franchise. You couldn't have at least edited the colors slightly?
Live from the castle. It's a real unicorn and earth pony. I know, right?
Wait, is her stream just constantly hooked up to all TVs and the national broadcast at all times? This seems like an extreme oversight that if she accidentally goes live at the wrong time could be exceptionally bad. What also seems extreme is the 4 giant TVs for this one section of the street.
They're gonna take over the village.
This is a cool callback to G3, but why exactly are they showing shows where all the races get along in a city whose economy is literally based on racism?
This princess smells.
More smelling fetish fuel.
Oh, dress rehearsals gotta go.
There should be no way her phone is that strong to vibrate her whole body. But if it is, and considering where she puts it, it's exceptionally lewd.
Gotcha.
Exactly how close are these cities? I mean, before it seemed like they were hundreds, if not thousands of miles apart, but apparently you can walk to each city in a matter of a day or two. If that's the case, then how have they not interacted at all? Even if they hated each other, they're clearly forming weapons and defenses against one another, so one would assume that conflict would probably spring forth from their proximity alone.
I'm pretty sure it was some sort of station for when Earth ponies and unicorns used to visit Zephyr Heights. It's like every pony just forgot.
This is pretty blatant proof that all the races got together and it's apparently not even that old because it's in a pretty good condition. But again, everyone just magically forgot and they don't even bring up really why. No one seems concerned about that fact.
But how?
You'd be surprised what some wires and good lighting will do.
I'm not gonna nerd out on you because I only barely understand it, but I will say most of this, well, somewhat gibberish in its orientation, it's tangentially related to flight. Except this part about V pony equals V over sin is actually supposed to be VOY equals VO. And this is supposed to be for the time of flight. And by adding the P and N completely changes everything. And hey, you're not allowed to make cute math jokes in the show about talking horses, damn it. This is serious business.
To do this.
There's no safety net on this. If you lose flight, you are getting shredded.
What is that?
That's the Pegasus crystal, part of my mom's crown.
Where is the unicorn crystal?
When did they ever need crystals to use magic? Which is what this movie is apparently working out to. If they're going to base this off of the original series, why include something that never came up in the original show at all? And it's actually entirely contradictory to what we know.
Look! They fit?
They barely fit in this projection, and this is a huge leap for Sunny to make.
Oh, you know she tells me everything. I wish you would tell me more.
There is no way these two strings are able to support these fully grown horses. This grown pony can't overpower this teacup dog. I would say it's because of the plot, but even if they took this out, the plot would be the same. So this is just a scene telling us that Zip is apparently exceptionally weak.
Zip, hurry! They can't fly! Hey! She's faking it!
No one saw the very large jewel fall out of the bag, or heard it thud against the ground, which we all did in the movie.
This just in. Queen Haven has been arrested for being a phony pony full of baloney.
If politicians were actually arrested for lying, I'm pretty sure we just wouldn't have politicians at this point.
You left me hanging there in the spotlight. Now every pony knows we can't fly.
A warrant is out for the arrest of the princesses.
I guess this exposition wasn't important enough for them to use a giant TV to show it also. It just comes on and turns off depending on how important the news is, I guess. And if it's too unimportant, it just gets played on your phone. Okay. I've ignored this for a while, but what exactly are their eyes reflecting? It's not indicative of the surrounding area. No matter where they are, there's always one single bright light in their eyes, even if they're surrounded by light, or in this case, facing the opposite way of the brightest light source.
When do you think my workers can get back to making Canterlogic products?
Back to work, glitter cupcake.
No, I mean, he should be dead, right? Also, you're yelling at this guy while literally staring at a pony sleeping on the scaffolding.
What am I even doing here? Hoofing it across daisy fields looking for a magical crystal that doesn't even exist!
Why would you even say this? They found one and know what the other one looks like. Seems like a pretty big leap to make when just a day or two ago you thought Pegasi flew and unicorns shot lasers.
Once we get our magic back, the whole kingdom will be so excited they won't even remember what happened back there.
Pretty sure she was actually thrown in jail for lying and wasn't actually their fault. Which, again, if this was the case, most politicians should be in jail.
Between you and me, buddy, that badge was creating an unhealthy power dynamic.
Unlike the totally healthy power dynamic between unicorns and other races. You know, with unicorns being able to fly themselves and warp all of space and time, which now that we think about it is exactly the system that they're attempting to put back into place. I can see now why Izzy is on board with this.
Find the crystal and bring back magic. And once we do, you'll get to fly, you'll get your fans back, and you'll have me in custody. Every pony happy now? Ta-da!
This horn would not only be the sharpest object in the world, but one of the most durable.
Are you sure about all this? Because if we just go back to Maritime Bay...
What have we got to lose?
By giving magic back to our enemies? Let me think. I know, a lot.
I mean, to be fair, he's right. It's not like the racism is going to be solved overnight. And this is the equivalent of America helping the North Koreans with their missile programs. Even if they're thankful now, who's to say what happens in the future? This is a completely valid and justified fear that's just being laughed off.
When I was a filly, I found this pretty lantern. It had a message inside. It said I had friends in Maritime Bay.
There's a million things I could say here about the probability of all of this, but I've said some of it already, so I'll just go ahead and sum it up with this. No.
It was you.
That is an incredible leap as well, even though she's obsessed with other races, bordering on a level of fetishizing them. For it to be specifically her would have been an incredible coincidence.
Did you make all of this?
I don't know if it's just the number of times I've watched this, but we get it. You remember the old theme song. We don't have to have it referenced so often. I believe this is like the third or second time at the very least that we've done this.
You're gonna fit right in.
It's never gonna work.
This isn't going to work? Didn't you sneak into the Pegasi Kingdom? An arguably more advanced society with nothing but fake wings and a mustache. Why would this now not work in a more primitive society?
How can we tell which ones are magic?
Ooh, you said a bad word.
Huh? Why is he British? Isn't there no international communities anymore? All just separated ethno-states? I mean, most of the other unicorns don't talk like this. You know, this is a pretty small village. Seems to be that everyone would know everyone, unlike the bustling city of the Pegasi. The fact no one's calling out for the four ponies they've never seen before, walking along with the apparent outcasts of the city, kinda tells me once again, ponies are pretty dumb.
Let's make this more interesting. You only need to win 1 out of 3.
Why would he make this bet? He literally has nothing to gain from giving her an advantage like this, and loses because he does. I get the protagonists have to win, but this is pretty absurd even as far as plot armor goes.
You can count on your best food. Yeah, that's how you do it.
Yay. It's okay. You're just warming up.
Because none of the dancing threw this off, but as soon as it became convenient for the plot, sure, why not? It goes flying.
Especially from ponies like you. Give me the crystal.
But I won.
You tricked me.
Tricked you? How? You were the one who gave yourself a handicap and still lost. Even then, I could foresee maybe saying the deal is off and taking back your own crystal, but why would they have to give you theirs as well? None of this is helping the views each group has about another when everyone is so cartoonishly villainous.
Magic wing feather mayonnaise! Bing! Bong!
This works.
Mom! Thank goodness! You escaped!
How did you find us?
Now, I know that if you just come back with me, we can explain everything. Spin the story and they'll love us again.
That does not explain how she broke out of jail. Well, yes, ponies are dumb and someone could probably easily trick them, but she is also pretty dumb. And tracking someone from scent across vast lands, including a desert, isn't exactly easy.
Let us explain.
There she is! Your criminal highness, you're coming with us.
Considering they were mere moments away from her and part of the long journey was through flat plains, I'm really doubtful she didn't see these brightly colored ponies and shiny metal armor chasing her.
I want it fair and square.
I certainly doubt it. Unicorns are known to be cheaters.
She's literally not wrong. You did just cheat and try to steal it from them. The movie is doing a really bad job at showing that stereotypes aren't what we should go off of, when all it does is show that all the ponies are stereotypes.
I'd like to see you try.
No pony has magic!
Wait, they all just give up? They don't even want the crystal anymore? Even though they didn't think it was magic before? And weren't the guards trying to arrest the queen regardless?
Well, what do we do now, Sunny? I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused you.
Sunny, we can't give up.
Sunny gives up after one try after dedicating her entire life to this cause. Again, she tried once to revive magic. It didn't work. Gave up and decided to pack everything up and become racist. Because clearly, if there's no magic, that's the only thing left. Wow, it sure is convenient that the sun, which isn't even shining because of the massive overcast, hit the gym, which reflected into the giant glass bulb to illuminate all of the room just as she was putting the pieces together. They have all this ancient knowledge, but not the much more recent knowledge that apparently the source of all magic was located in a collection of gems in the house that they live in.
No magic? Ah, that's even better.
But we can bring magic back. Bring friendship back.
So we don't have to fight?
So your initial plan was to attack the psychic laser shooting unicorns head on with goo slinging machines, and you thought that was going to be a good idea. Wait, they outran the car? How? So there's no aiming here at all. It's just mindless splattering, liable to hit your own allies as much as the enemies, because you can make giant robots, but you can't make a normal gun.
Alphabet, look out!
The pony twice her size couldn't free himself, but the small pony was able to somehow do it.
Okay, that was a bad idea.
She survives this. Ah yes, the momentary rest between the literal race war, and they're all friends after the countless years of propaganda and, in some cases, justified fear. Fucking Larson.
We're actually flying!
They've never flown in their lives, but instantly know how to fly, as well as the unicorns casting magic. This is like a bunch of teenagers all getting into different cars and trying to drive around the same parking lots all at once. Only 10 times worse and filled with more crashing into towers.
Mommy, was I a good sheriff?
Look, a flying dog.
He will face no consequences for his actions, but of course, telling a lie gets you sent straight to jail.
Hooves to heart!
Hey guys, what did I miss?
You, he's dead. He was stuck in the air for multiple days with no food or water. He would have died long ago.
Yikes, that's gonna be a lot of paperwork.
Hey there guys, it's just me, Faith from Moliminous at the after credits scene. I just want to go ahead and say, man, I actually really enjoyed this movie. I don't really do these series for anything that I don't enjoy, but unfortunately, the format is just not something I really enjoy. Making content about ponies isn't necessarily something I really enjoy anymore. And, you know, I've been making a lot of other videos. If you guys want to give those, you know, a chance, that would be great. If you guys enjoy streams, go ahead and check me out on Moliminous Theater. Again, we stream all the time. There's going to be other content on there. You guys should probably be used, if you've even been paying attention to the channel, that I don't post as often here. It's just kind of how it is. I haven't been a professional YouTuber for a very long time at this point, at least in internet terms. And yeah, again, want to give a shout out to Max, my main editor. He's been with me for too fucking long, honestly. He's been great. He was the one editing this. All the editing of the ones that don't have giant spelling mistakes has been him over the years. Go ahead and check him out too. He's always linked. He does incredible work. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you hopefully at Moliminous Theater.